Hi everyone, it's me, the Broke Stacker. Alright, we got a little trouble in paradise here. Here's the old pump, old leaky. Sure enough, after it sat for a week, it started leaking on the ground again. So, yeah, we're got the brand new one here, but we're running into a little bit of a problem. I got the pulley pressed off of the old one onto the new one. Everything looks good. Got the bracket on there. It was weird. One of these there's a bracket hole in the back here that was actually plugged with their own bolt. That's fine. I think it's part of holding this housing down. But yeah, check this out. This doesn't lock down all the way. It's hitting the bracket now. It's like when they put this reservoir on the back, it's just slightly cocked wrong. I waited 3 weeks to get this one. There's a stamp on the back that says it was birthed and rebuilt on 6/6 of 24. So yeah, whoever is rebuilding these things, make sure that these are the factory caps are going to clear. I think what my fix is going to be right there where it's tapping. I'm just going to take a grinder, just take ever so a little bit off the bottom of this cap, and I should fix the problem. But that is just a big problem. That's a gross oversight on the rebuilder. This needs to be clocked just a little bit, or it's just slightly too low this way. It needs to come up a degree this way. So yeah, if you're the guy rebuilding these power steering pumps, please check your work, check all the brackets out there, and yeah, it might just be a degree or two off, or the factory cap doesn't fit, because that just comes right off of there. That should lock down nice and tight, and it's not going to go anywhere. That thing's been on there for 66 years. Now I can't put it on the brand new pump without cutting it. So it is what it is. Okay, I marked this where I want to take off that little bit with a Sharpie. I hope that's going to be enough, and if so, then we're still rocking and rolling. I'm going to take this out and put it on the bench grinder and grind that little bit of that cap down everywhere it's marked black with a Sharpie, and hopefully this will actually clear my bracket. See if I can get it back on there one-handed. Sorry. So yeah, see it right there. Turn the light on for you. Just barely hitting that dang bracket. So if I take that little bit off with the grinder, it shouldn't affect the integrity of the cap, but it's annoying to have to do it on a factory part, you know. All right, we're back. Now, with a little bit of that angle grinder persuasion, I trimmed it down just enough. You can see it's even rubbing on my bracket there. Just enough for this guy just barely clears on there now. So it will work. It's just annoying you have to do that. But yeah, maybe give us a couple millimeters there, guys, to get our freaking caps on. It should be all good. So yeah, you guys run into that. It's not the end of the world. It's annoying, but you know, whoops. Just take a little bit of that off. It's not going to affect the cap at all. I'm probably going to blow that off with the compressed air, so there's no shavings. But I filed that down with my jeweler's file, so it's nice and safe for the most part. It's not going to cut anybody later, just not thinking about it. But yeah, that's all you're taking off, just barely anything. Today is the day I'm going to finally replace this very leaky valve cover. The valve cover itself is the issue. It's got a significant bend in it to the point where it's not sealing properly. So not here in the front, over here, but down here in this corner, that's where it's leaking. And that's where a lot of that smoke was coming from. If you remember when we first fired this thing up. So I ordered some valve covers from 440 Source. They look to be perfect. They're just the cheap steel stampies, but look at that. Mrs. Brokestacker went ahead and painted these for me during the week while I was at work, and they're going to work perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and start just assembling this thing. We'll clean up a couple other things while we're in here too. Replace these with not the cork gaskets, but while I was at it, I went ahead and got the nice steel reinforced rubber gaskets. Okay, that came off relatively fast. God, I love old cars. I took the valve cover off. I wiped all the gasket surface off. I still got to clean it, but I wiped most of the oil off. You can see down here where the oil was leaking on the exhaust manifold. It was definitely a leaker there. That was all nice and clean when we reinstalled. this nice new shiny valve cover. Put that on. These are those nice steel reinforced rubber gaskets. If you can afford an extra couple dollars, I highly recommend these. These are so much better to work with than the corks. So yeah, there's a couple dollars more, but well worth it. Reusable and just a really good gasket all the way around. As you can see, there's a little bit more stuff in the way on this side. I mean, we got a fuel line, PVC valve, coil, distributor. It's gonna be really tight right there. I remember it was tight going on. All the wire loom going on the side. So I'm gonna fast forward and skip on this and just show you the end result, as this one might just take a little bit longer. You guys ever just get so used to getting screwed over, like you just just bracing the front of it? No, this wasn't bad at all. It took me like 5 minutes. I'm just gonna loosen these bolts and get it out of the way. It made it a lot easier. I just pulled the coil, loosened it, moved the air cleaner out of the way, bent the fuel line back. It'll be real easy. I did notice that my torques on all these, a couple were a little loose. So I recommend after a couple thermal cycles, if you do your valve covers, come back, check your torques again. Just do it by hand. If you don't know how to do it by hand, just get a little torque wrench out and do it by the book. This one's sealed down nicely. The other one was a little bit easier to get off, it felt like. Alright, yeah, it's not so bad. It's tight right there against the distributor, but it came right out. Not bad at all. Cork worked all right. This one was actually sealing up nicely, but heck, we're gonna have one pretty valve cover. We might as well have two. Okay, valve cover time. Also, make sure that your gasket surfaces are clean. This is a brand new valve cover. It's very clean. Okay, we got that one in place, torqued. Now I'm gonna put back all the other stuff out to take off. Coil wire, air cleaner. It wasn't that bad, it really wasn't. Make sure all my wiring isn't touching anything it's supposed to be, including that one spark plug wire, because on the factory valve cover, it had a couple spaces for those to fit into. This one does not have that. Okay, one thing I just noticed, very first thing I try to do, just turn on the light. There it goes. This grommet that they gave me for the PCV is not the same as the one from the factory. It's a much larger diameter, which is fine. We'll correct that. I'll have to get another PVC, go to the help aisle, just any PVC with a 3/8 and whatever size this is. Looks like 1/2 inch, 3/4, something like that. We'll figure it out, but for now, just set that there and hopefully we can make it to the parts station and back. All right, before I put the air cleaner back on, I have one thing I've been wanting to try out. Let me show you what I'm looking at first here. Let's turn on the light. Yeah, look how dirty and crusty and nasty. It's getting the rust pitting going on this chrome. On this air cleaner, it came with the car, forgive me, but I'm gonna try to bring it back to looking a little bit better than that. Found some of this, we got some metal polish, some Blue Magic. Works on chrome. I've had a lot of success on this, on chrome bumpers and such, including this car. Great product, puts a polyurethane film on it after you're done, whatever the film is, so it's a protectant as well at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and buff that thing out before I reinstall it. Okay, it's not a miracle worker by any means, but check that out. That's a noticeable improvement. I will say it's much better than the big giant rust spot that was right here. You guys remember that? I worked out that big rust spot pretty good. I mean, this is better than having to redip and replate an entire electroplate your chrome again. I mean, there's still some rust spots going on there. I don't know if you can see those. They're still there. I mean, it's blue magic. It's not blue miracle. So, yeah, it's much better than what it was before. This way I know it has a little bit of protection. This chrome is any indication of the conditions of what the car was in. That gives you an idea. Or at least where this thing was actually in a parts box. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and clean up the rest of this and get it installed. And there it is. Does that look better or what? Gotta have yourself some a little shine in there, am I right? Yeah, that not huge on chrome, but I tell you what, it looks better than rust. That is not bad. I think we're all right. I'm gonna have to run to the parts store now and get a new PCV valve, and then I can fire this thing up.